Haunted Disneyland Stories. To know the top haunted Disneyland stories, keep watching, because you need to hear this before going to Disneyland. Before we start, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Let's dig in. Number 10. The Locker Ghost Girls, submitted by David V. In August 2019, my sister and I went to the theme parks for a late lunch after attending Disney's D23 Expo in Anaheim. We booked a locker near the Disney California Adventure Gate because we had bags full of Expo items. It was only the two of us and a young girl. She sat against the far wall. After a few minutes, I noticed the girl had been sitting for some time. The girl abruptly turned around, and then she kept staring at us. It was just too strange, and I was curious. I canceled my bookings and turned around. There was no one there. The locker room was completely vacant. I looked into the emptiness for a while, chills running down my arms. My sister was excited to go to Disneyland as she inquired, but my fear was obvious, and I asked if she saw the girl. However, I didn't need to explain because my sister was already glancing at the vacant row of lockers next to us. I watched as the color faded from her face. No, no, no. I already informed my sister about the ghost I'd seen at Disneyland, and now she spotted one as well. The scene was disturbing, and it overshadowed the otherwise beautiful afternoon. We ran from there as fast as we could. Number 9. New Orleans and Toontown Encounters, submitted by Mike A. From 2002 to 2004, I served as a custodial setting and experienced several strange occurrences. I removed the garbage from the Haunted Mansion exit one night in New Orleans. I came down the employee stairs the back way and noticed an old woman in an antique-looking wheelchair sitting in the corridor. I ignored her and opened the door to the garbage can. When I went back to the hallway, the lady was gone in less than 5 seconds. I was quite frightened, but I shrugged it off and continued my work. I completed my shift and forgot about it. One day, I was talking with a woman who had served there for a long time. She told me about seeing an elderly woman in a wheelchair. No way! How familiar, I thought to myself. I had a knot in my throat and was terrified for a long time. Number 8. The Men's Room Basement Ghost, submitted by Annabelle K. So I was in my first year as a third shift custodian. So I was assigned to work in Mickey's basement, beneath Mickey's house. I was in the woman's restroom when I noticed something moving about. But I didn't know what it was, so I disregarded it and went back to work. Then I started sweeping the gym, and I heard something moving again. This time, it was coming from the men's room. So I said, "Hello, is there anyone in the men's room?" There was no reaction, so I went to the men's room and found nothing. I hear it again as I enter the break room. Something is moving in the men's restroom. I went back to look, and the garbage can was in the center of the restroom. I just assumed I hadn't moved it back when I was cleaning, so I pushed it to the side. I resumed cleaning the break room. Then I began sweeping and mopping all the floors. There it goes again as soon as I start mopping. At this point, I'm terrified and I don't want to be down there. "If there's something down here, it can't damage me," I shouted. And then I hear, "Get out," in the creepiest voice from behind my left shoulder. I froze, and I could feel my hair sticking straight up. I gathered my belongings and fled out of there. Number 7. Tiki Terror, submitted by Louisa G. This is my husband's experience. He works as a cast member at the Tangaroa Terrace and has been telling me about highly active poltergeist at the new outdoor bar. People have reported hearing voices and items flying off shelves. Footsteps have been heard below the pantry, and he has lately seen a metal container float 4 feet in the air and then fall. It was a metal ice cup within a cup. Since Tangaroa Terrace was renovated, the ghost has been more active. It's not a bad spirit, it's a friendly ghost. Number 6. Soaring Spirits Over California, submitted by Andy A. I used to work at the resort when it was called Soaring Over California in 2014. Theater A and Theater B are the 2 theaters. The haunted theater was meant to be on the B side. That's the theater that mysteriously fails most of the time. The tale is that the California Adventure was once a parking lot. When the trams were passing by, a small girl happened to be walking in the center of the street, and the tram knocked her over. While in flight, I was checking the monitors when I heard footsteps coming up or down the basement stairs. When I turned around, no one was there. I had the impression that I was being observed from behind. Since then, I've always had someone swap me their position. It's rather spooky. Number 5. Watchers, submitted by Stacy B. I have a gift, and whenever I enter the park and I am not caught up on the thrill of simply being at Disneyland, I can sense the presence of unseen beings in various sections of the park, such as the Haunted Mansion occasionally. I get the sensation of a being watching me. Number 4. Spirit Children, submitted by Tim R. At the stroller store, I used to work the swing shift. One night, I was cleaning strollers from Fantasyland at 1 a.m. when we heard youngsters giggling. We decided to locate security and inform them that there were visitors in the park. But as we approached Matterhorn, Dumbo came to life, with music and everything. We knew no attraction cast members were running the ride since we had just completed collecting strollers from the Casey Jones line. Number 3. Playful Children After Closing, submitted by Noemi B. I worked as an artist there for around 5 years. The first week there, I was startled by the sound of youngsters playing in the halls of the storage area after hours. It took me a long time to realize we were closed, and there shouldn't have been any children around. I was also tampered with when I was closing in front of the Pirates of the Caribbean exit, and my niece spotted the same ghost guy at the cast members' lunch area. Disney is, without a doubt, the most haunted spot I've ever been to. Number 2. The Phantom Chef, submitted by Deanna M. I recall seeing a cook in our break room storage place. They were undertaking some construction in our break room at the time. I was alone in the lunch area, minding my own business while on my lunch break. Of course, cast members come and depart as needed to walk backstage. He walked on stage from backstage, where other chefs were passing by to get back to work. And from what I recall, he looked at me, smiled, and continued on his way. At this point, all I could do was recognize him and smile back. Nothing suggested to me that this man was a ghostly buddy. When I came home, I realized I hadn't heard the steps going out on stage or the elevator going up. Our breaking room was tiny enough that I could hear everyone coming in and out of it. Number 1. A Token of Remembrance, submitted by Dawn B. There was a woman in line for the Haunted Mansion who appeared depressed. The attraction greeter in the entryway inquired as to why she was depressed. She told the story of her teenage son who was diagnosed with cancer. She had promised him that they would travel to Disneyland together when he got well. Unfortunately, he never did and died. She held a snapshot of the 2 of them and presented it to the cast member. He asked if he could look at the photo and put it in the ballroom so they could stay at Disneyland forever. On the table, the photo was under the second plate from the left. Yes, I have seen the photograph. So, what do you think? Comment below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.